Good morning, guys. Wanted to jump on here and shoot a quick video for your 28-day transformation challenge participants. Excuse me, I got a little bit of cold from my kiddos, so bear with me on that. A little signage, drainage, that time of year, obviously. So I will talk to you guys about Protein 101, and then I'll go into a little bit of detail of the differences in proteins and then the importance of protein. So obviously nowadays you look at anything and it has some type of protein infused, whatever it may be. All good, all good. But just be aware, obviously, even when we just traveled, you have opportunities to eat better, more healthy, even in some of the the grab and go places in the airport. If you look, they have some type of protein bar, and a protein bar that's a little better. Obviously, I don't always condone the protein bar just because how they have to last, how they're made. But you can find some good ones out there, which I can talk about some other time. And or protein drinks. They do have some protein drinks down the hatch, out the door. Instead of grabbing the bag of chips, they do have some beef jerkies that are lower in sodium. So there's options. You just have to be a little bit more disciplined, and I know you guys can be, to make the better choice, because going to compound, just like anything, if you consistently show up and do it, you're going to get the results you want. So I can shoot a whole nother video on that, but I'm going to go into proteins in general, and I'm going to talk about obviously the one protein that we utilize personally in the brand that we carry, and I'll tell you why a little bit. So the Eniva is isolate, so it's a little bit cleaner protein, so it breaks down. So anybody who has a little bit of issue with whey and you use this isolate, I've had a lot of clients over the years use this who said that they had some issues with whey, and once they used the isolate, they didn't have any problem. So if you guys do have some issues with whey proteins or milk-based components, let me know, and I'll let you just try it from my personal stash, because I've had multiple clients come back and use this instead of some of the other ones they were purchasing that were not milk-based, so they were vegan-based. But you gotta watch that, man, because I just went through Whole Foods, and one of the most popular vegan-based proteins they have in there has more ingredients than I ever want to know of. So that's where I want to go with this. If you really want to get a clean protein, you don't need all the garbage in it. A lot of it's fillers. You guys are paying for stuff that you're not even using. Now, if it's vegan-based, they have to make specific amino acids, essential amino acids, and put in that product, because you cannot get them in a vegan-based. You can get them in a whey-based, animal-based, leucine, L-lysine. Those are some of the amino acids that are crucial for replenishing, rebuilding, and some other chemical processes go on within the body. So that's why a lot of those vegan-based, and not to knock it, but you guys just got to understand what's the purpose of taking it. Do you think you're going to get a better product? Probably not. Now, have they done a better job of formulating amino acids that work, and they'll put it inside the vegan-based? So that's just an educational component. If you look on here, and I know some of you guys, ingredients, whey protein isolate, there's like 3 products right here, right? It's a natural vanilla flavor, bean, and then sunflower lectin, and then organic stevia. I know some people don't like stevia, but again, that's the product list. 120 calories, 25 grams of protein. So with that, 25 grams, I say most males, if we can get 25 to 30 grams per food intake, perfect. Females, if it's 20 to 25. Ideally, males, if I can put you guys up to about 40 grams, that would be fantastic. So, I obviously, very, very clean product. That's why we use this isolate. So, we ran out a couple weeks ago, and Aaron grabbed some grass-fed whey protein, which is grass-fed as well, from Whole Foods. Whole Foods really does a good job on carrying very good and lean products. The problem, I looked at it, and it's not bad. It did cause a little bit of digestion issues with us because it's not as clean. It's 20 grams here per, and then it is a, 100 and, where's it at here? I think 110 calories. So not bad, right? It has, that 20 gram marker point, which I always like to see. Now, if you go back in here, the product list it goes pretty deep, right? I don't want to go off in the weeds, but there's some fillers in here. Some of the gum, the natural flavors, which they don't really label. Now, some people like monk fruit extract. This one doesn't have monk fruit. We have another protein that has monk fruit. Some people like it, some people don't. Aaron doesn't. No worries on that one because it does give it a little bit of different taste. So you go in here and you're going to pick up about 7 more ingredients in comparison. Not all good. Some of them are not bad, but there really is no reason. Sometimes they put it in there to make it taste better, and you really got to weigh it out. If you're going to make a true protein shake, protein's not going to taste awesome. It's not supposed to. It's not a smoothie. Now, when you make a smoothie, you add fruit and or some type of liquid. That's when you can doctor it up. So I doctor mine up. Sometimes it depends. If I'm in a cut phase, I'll go 100% no sugar. I'll mix this up down the hatch with no carbs. Now, if I'm not in a cut phase, like for breakfast this morning, I will throw some fruit in here, typically blueberries because they won't spike your insulin, and they have some good nutrient-based components that I typically don't get. So, think of it that way. Protein is supposed to be, for protein, it's supposed to help increase your protein intake for the day. It's not supposed to taste like a milkshake. Now, you can make it taste better by adding some things in it. Sometimes I add peanut butter to push mine up to about 450 calories, so it's my breakfast. So always think of it that way. So hopefully these things are helping. And I'm going to talk through a couple different proteins that you can get in different formats. So you can do a whey protein, which this is a whey isolate. It's a little cleaner. It's grass-fed. It's a pretty clean product. You can do a casein. So we also sell a protein mix. It's not an isolate. It's a mix of casein and whey, which I've used, and that has the monk fruit in it, which Aaron didn't like. I don't have a preference on those. The casein just takes a little bit longer to break down in comparison, so you can take it later at night and before bed, and it's a good product to use for recovery from that standpoint. So you have egg proteins, you have the pea proteins, the brown rice, the hemp, and the mixed plant proteins. The things with like pea proteins and brown rice, obviously the content of grams is going to significantly drop off, and a lot of times what they'll have to do is infuse those products with obviously the branched chain amino acids that you have from the natural animal product. And again, they've done a really good job of creating those components and putting them in products that are not animal based. It's just, it really goes back to, okay, what you want and why and what's your goal. Because sometimes I think we get duped into some of these commercialized things that really don't have any health benefits at all. Nope. And you pay more for them. Now, is there a digestive component? I would say, hey, try an isolate that's really, really clean, like the one we have, before you start, jumping into weeds with pea proteins and hemp proteins. Because I've taken them, and man, I do not digest pea proteins very well. I didn't like the brown rice taste. And the vegan I can tolerate, but it has so many other fillers in there. I'm like, why would I even do that? So, again, you got to understand what you want and what you need and what your health components are. So hopefully this helps from a protein standpoint. Again, protein, men, if I can get you up to like that 35 to 40 grams per food intake, your money, because we'll push you up into 100 and 150 grams of protein. That's going to be your base. A couple other things why we recommend protein. It helps with satisfaction of hunger. So, and there's a chemical response and a thermal effect. So it takes longer to break down. It stabilizes your blood sugar. And then it helps with fat loss, guys. And that's why we recommend it as the base component. And I know that document, that the 28-day, had a lot of information on protein and having protein as a foundational component. So if you want to jump back into that document and read through that, that's good as well. So hopefully this helps. We will actually see you tomorrow for a live training. I know a lot of you guys are wrapping it up. We'll get the assessment scheduled. So I'm looking forward to it. And then I'll kick this out today and let you guys absorb this. Let me know if you have any questions. So have a great Wednesday, guys.